Hi everybody, my name is Matthew Shunson, and today I'll be going over the basics of what you need to know for Advanced Open Water Certification. So, first thing we're going to go ahead and do is do a brief visual inspection of our gear. Now, you should have done this beforehand while piecing it together, but we'll kind of just go over it right now. First thing we want to note is listen to any hissing sounds, which we don't hear any, which means our gear is working. Next thing you want to check is your pressure gauge. If this is deflating at all, if the needle is going down, that means you have a leak somewhere, but because this is staying steady where it is, that means we're perfectly fine. Now, next thing you're going to want to do is both test your regulator, which is your main source of breathing, and then your octopus, which is what you would give your buddy. So we go ahead and depress the regulator valve here, and we don't hear any more air flowing out, which means this is working. And let's go ahead and test this one. And again, we don't hear any more air coming out. So now we'll go ahead and now that we have the basics of your gear, we're going to go ahead and talk about accessories that you can add on to this. Now, one key piece to have, especially if you're going to be night diving, is having a light. Now this, as you can see, I have a hook on here. So this can be mounted to your D-rings, which are going to be here. So I can just go ahead and mount that on there. And that way it's hands-free, and if you drop it, it stays hooked onto your gear, and you don't have to worry about it. And the final piece, before getting too technical, is getting some sort of drawing board. And this way you don't have to use hand signals to communicate, you can just use your board to communicate. Right, and always have a safety whistle, because if you're lost and away from the group, if you're above the air, or if you're above water, then you go, and that way people can hear you. So we're going to go ahead and attach this to the D-ring right here, and that way that stays on. And now, if I need to communicate, I can just go ahead and write on here. Okay, so now, another thing you're going to want to know, or what you're going to learn in your Advanced Open Water course, is how to navigate underwater. Now this can be done either two ways. You can get yourself an actual compass wristwatch, or you can get yourself a diving watch like I have, where it has the option to switch to a compass. And I'll walk closer to the camera here. So as you can see it gives you your bearing and your degrees of which way you're heading here. So this is good because when you start off on your dive away from the boat, what you're going to want to do is take a heading and say, okay, I'm going to stick in this general direction, and then you turn and face towards the boat that you're already on. So that way you see, okay, if I'm facing, right now I'm facing 145 degrees, and let's say the boat is behind me, then I'm going to go ahead and turn, take another reading, and see that it says I'm at 335 degrees facing this way. So this way, when you're diving around, and as long as you turn yourself around and face 335 degrees, or about there, then you'll know you'll be heading in the general direction of the boat. Now, I'll go ahead and go over different techniques of finding a lost item or a lost diver. So I'm going to go ahead and unhook this guy here. Okay, so we're going to take our Neato drawing tool here. So now there are three main ways of looking for a lost item or a lost diver. First one's going to be the expanding square. Second one is going to be a back and forth, or kind of doing like a lapse, like you would in pool. And the third and final one is going to be a spiral. So I'll go ahead and get closer here, so that way you can see. So we'll go ahead and draw the expanding square. And what that looks like is you're going to start off here, and then you go out and down and out and up and out and down and up, or over and up and out. So as you can see, it's a square and it's constantly expanding. Now the next one is going to be a lapse sort of thing. So you're going to start here, and you go down and over and up and over and down and over and up and over and down. So as you can see, you're constantly expanding out from your starting point, and this way you get a good visual of what the area surrounding you looks like. And the final one is going to be a spiral. I know we all know what a spiral is, but I'll still draw it out. So you have your starting point, which is in the center here, and then you slowly expand outwards. And again, this is all so that way you have a general idea of how you're going to be doing your search protocols when you're looking for a lost item or looking for a lost diver. Now, I hope everybody enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a good learning experience with this, and once you take your class, you'll actually find out about more in depth. So, I hope to speak with you all soon, and there we go. The end. See you guys later. Have a great one.